So, Turkey Tom, he made his response to allegations. I didn't really cover it, even though I probably should have. I will clarify that it was a pretty nice response, pretty good response. And I don't think he addressed the age play stuff enough. But other than that, all the other allegations made against him, I would say he's kind of cleared of because, you could tell by these text messages that they were much more. These women were definitely, more pushy than they let on. They were definitely the more aggressive ones in the relationship in the, sexual sense. Obviously, you can tell by those messages and stuff. So we'll clarify, Tom is like 96% like vindicated. Maybe not 96, or maybe like 90%, 92% vindicated from what these people were mainly accusing of the big important things. But the age play I'd say is still up in the air. But he has been mostly vindicated in the eyes of the public, besides people who, dislike him. Obviously, you can dislike someone, but, if things against them aren't true, you have to be honest about that. But that's not the point today. All right, we have a statement made by the accuser of Turkey Tom. We have a statement from her, and she basically probably contacted by a lawyer, and they were like, make this statement or we're gonna sue you. That's probably what happened. All right, the Turkey law team came up to her, legal mindset came to her house. He was like, you're gonna make this statement or I'm taking you back to Thailand with me. So you better do it. That's what happened. And essentially, she came out with this statement made by probably some lawyers, or maybe she made it. She probably made it because there's some spelling mistakes, I'd say. But that's just me being a little autist. So we have this statement from her from Rowan or Sacramento 99. She says, "Hello all. I am retracting several prior statements I made about Thomas Hansen and offering a formal apology to Tom. Specifically, I previously made statements that may have mischaracterized the nature of our relationship, including allegations regarding filming without consent and non-consensual sexual behavior. I want to clarify that all sexual activity between us was fully consensual. I also apologize for sending Joshua Moon a censored image of Tom and me during an intimate moment. Further, I apologize for providing the public with information that was inaccurate, incomplete, or conveyed in a misleading overall impression of my relationship with Tom. I deeply regret misleading the public. I want to be clear that I take full responsibility for my actions. I have been in contact with Tom's representatives to ensure we have full resolution on this matter, and I will not be making any further public statements about this matter as we consider this issue closed." So that's her statement. She clarifies that, it's done, it's over. She's not saying anything else. All the acts were consensual, all the filming was consensual, and Tom has pretty much been vindicated on the, destiny allegations, I would call them. I would call them the destiny allegations, like father like son allegations. So he's been cleared on that. Nothing unconsensually filmed, no non-consensual sex behavior, okay? Tom has been pretty much cleared, but something that we don't know is whether he hit that woman or not. The other one, Clorox Katie, because she did have that bruise. All right, remember if you saw the allegations. We don't know if he did that. Just to be 100% clear, we don't know if he did that. And, I want to make a little apology to Tom, even though I don't think anyone saw my coverage, alright? No one watched that shit. Let's be real. I do want to, apologize because I wouldn't say I was like, Turkey Tom did this, Turkey Tom did that. But I was definitely saying things that if you're watching this in the background, you would probably think, he did that. Like, you probably couldn't tell that I was thinking what I was thinking. Because as I read this, I didn't think, like, oh, this is true. This is like 100% Tom did this. I definitely thought in my head, these are just allegations, they're not true. But I don't think I clarified that enough in my original video. So I do want to make that apology for not being clear enough. But other than that, this statement definitely a lawyer, influenced a little bit of a puppeteering, but who cares, alright, yeah, it's over. She's not gonna come out with anything more. you could definitely say, the allegations, for the most part, are clear. I am curious about the other accuser, though. I wonder what she has to say. I wonder if they're ever gonna clear up that, uh, what would you say? What would you call it? The, assault. Not sexual assault, just like assault, because she did have that bruise. He may have possibly hit her. I don't know if she's ever clarified that, because, we did have that bruise, but I just want to say that's a big, big allegation. I don't know if it's been cleared up. I watched the video, but I don't know if it was addressed that much. So I do want to, put a spotlight on that, but I do want to say until we have her statement that we don't know anything really about what she said besides, what we know. We don't know what Tom's going to do. We don't know if she's going to make a statement, but we have this statement from what I would consider the main accuser, the first one that came out. And these Turkey Tom allegations, man, it's over, alright? Tom has won. Tom has won for now. For now, he's won. And you gotta admit that. You gotta say, yeah, he's won. But it's not about winning or losing, alright? It's about defending yourself and, coming out swinging with all your receipts and your just in case folder. That's what it's about. So, big ups to Turkey Tom for winning and defending himself and, winning or coming out on top. But yeah, that's it for this video, and I hope to see you in the next one.